Peace, family. What's going on? Now, I want to ask the question. Do you know what your rising sign is in astrology? Let me explain what that means. Your rising sign is the sign that was rising on the eastern horizon of the earth at the time you was born. Give you an example. If you was to walk outside at about 6 in the morning and look to the east where the sun was rising, whatever sign was on the backdrop of the zodiac at that time would be your rising sign. At the time you was born, whatever sign was rising on the east, that's your rising sign. Now, I'm a Virgo sun. I was born in September, but my rising sign is Scorpio. So when I was born, the sign of Scorpio was coming up on the eastern horizon. What does that mean? That means I'm a Virgo. When you get to know me, you get to really get more into my Virgo traits. But when you first meet me, the Scorpio is what you see. The rising sign is what's seen at first. That's the first part of yourself that you show. That's your that's the lens that you look at life through as well. It's the filter through which you process everything. It's your physical appearance, what your physical body looks like. All of these things are covered by your rising sign. So this is why you'll get some people that might say astrology is fake because I know two Libras and they not nothing alike. Libra is a sign of the peacemaker, of the diplomat, somebody who's charming, easygoing. But you might say I know a Libra who love to fight, who always, being rude to people, never trying to be a peacemaker. This is because that other Libra probably has a different rising sign. Their rising sign might be in a fire sign like Aries. Aries is always ready for war, ready for the battle, fiery, not backing down. So if you meet somebody with those traits right off the top, they probably have a fiery ascendant or rising sign, or it could be maybe an air sign or one of the cardinal signs because they're more direct, you know. So I want to clear up this misconception, because I think a lot of people are misled about astrology because they never took time out to study it, to look at it for themselves. It's very simple, this thing about the rising sign. It's not complicated at all. So when you go to astro.com or Cafe Astrology or any site that gives free birth charts, you type in your name, your time of birth, the city and state you was born in, and the country you was born in. You'll get a complete profile, a complete birth chart or horoscope as we call it. And it basically describes your personality traits. Here's a sample. This is mine. I like to use mine for example. And you can see the rising sign at the cusp of the first house, Scorpio. And then you see the other planets, what sign they fall in. So if you have a predominance of planets in one particular sign, you will have strong traits according to whatever sign that is, even if it's not your regular sun sign. Even if you're Aquarius, you might have a lot of planets in Aries that would alter the kind of Aquarius you are. And so you begin to see how this is a little bit more complex than we think. It's not just like your newspaper horoscope and you read it and say, all right, today Gemini's, be on the lookout. You're gonna get some money, you know. And so you might look at that and say, well, how is that possible? 1/12 of all of humanity is Gemini's. One out of every 12 at least gotta be Gemini. So how can that be true for everybody? It's not. Once you see the different placements, then you can see why they're different. When you look at the Mercury, that represents the mind. If you're a Virgo, you might have a Mercury in Libra, like I do, or you might have a Mercury in Leo, because Mercury can only be 28 degrees away from the sun maximum. So that means it can only be in the same sign as your sign, or one sign before, or one sign after your sign. So if you're a Gemini, your Mercury is either going to be Cancer or Taurus, or it'll be still Gemini. That's how that works. And so with a Mercury in Libra, that will make me more of a diplomat, more of a peacemaker, more laid back. Another Virgo with a Mercury in Leo will be a little bit more outgoing, will be a lot less laid back. Want to, mentally they will be want to shine, you know. This is how this works. You look at the traits of that specific sign, and then you look at the planet, and then you fuse them together. What's the meaning of the planet? What's the meaning of the sign? And then lastly, which house are they in? These are the houses. So each house represents a different part of your life, or a different part of your experience. So if you say the second house, that deals with money, Mercury in the second house, that means their mind is on money. Just to be, give a quick explanation of it without getting too deep. So that's how this works. The rising sign. Find out what your rising sign is. You always felt like you wasn't a Capricorn. It's probably a reason why. If you are a Capricorn and you don't feel like one, you feel like another sign, you probably going to look at your chart and realize that you have a lot of planets in that sign that you thought you sounded more like. All right, so this was a video on the rising sign. I hope y'all take this information, look up your rising sign, look up your other planetary placements, and get to know more about yourself other than just the regular sun sign. Peace.